Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Marburger. I'm reading Pax again, and we are up to chapter 9. Chapter 8 left off with Peter. Remember in chapter 8 he met Vola, and Peter is now leaving. She's kind of kicking him out. He upset her because he was assuming she was going to hurt him, and she was offended by that. So she fixed him up the best that she could. She wrapped his ankle, because remember his ankle or his foot is broken. She made a cane for him, a crutch. And she kind of said, all right, get out of here. There's a gas station a little ways down the road. See if they can help you. She's encouraging him to go back to his grandfather. He does not want to, but I don't know what else he would do because he doesn't really have anybody else to turn to. Okay, so this is chapter 9. So we're back to Pax's side of the story. Approaching the meadow from the forest above, Gray stopped suddenly, nose in the air. Again, he lifted his muzzle to test the scent more carefully. Stronger. Pax, already hesitant, tensed. Gray hurried to the edge of the trees. A loner is challenging me. He wants his territory, but his display is for the young vixen's benefit. She will choose a mate this winter. Pax followed and took in the scent below him. 4 foxes dotted in the meadow. Bristle and Runt stood together, their black-tipped ears pricked forward warily toward the other 2, who faced each other on the ledge of a rock, halfway down. One of these was a vixen, darker than Bristle and bigger-bellied with kits. The other was a large male with rough, tawny fur. His hackles were up, and his left ear was split. Gray barked to announce his presence. The challenger spun off the ledge, an arc of blood spraying from his ear, and bolted down the meadow. Gray picked his way down the hillside, Pax following. As Gray passed Bristle and Runt, his very presence seemed to calm them, as if he were an unseen hand stroking their backs. As soon as he passed, Runt danced his excitement at seeing Pax, but Bristle curled her lip and hissed. Pax hurried after Gray. When Gray climbed to the ledge beside his mate, Pax dropped to its base and sat, respectful. Gray's mate greeted him with affection. Then she shared news. The wind this morning was from the west, and it brought the scent of fire. We must move soon. She looked out at Pax. The outsider smells of humans. Bristle and Runt edged closer, ears cocked towards Gray's response. He is returning to the humans he lived with in the south. I will travel with him to search for a suitable place to move. He and I will rest, then leave tonight. Behind him, Bristle growled again, and Pax felt the urge to run. His boy. He wanted only to find his boy. But instinct told him that he needed to rest for food first. He signaled his agreement, and then Gray and his mate glided silently into the green meadow. Runt bounded over and tumbled into Pax. He dropped the toy soldier from his cheek, inviting Pax to play. Bristle jumped between them and swatted at the toy. Humans, remember the danger? Runt retrieved the toy and displayed it between his teeth, defiant. Pax sensed that Runt was now in more trouble than before, and that he was the cause. He had felt that way often with his boy and his father, and one of the strategies had been to disappear if that would protect his boy from the man's anger. So he backed away, but Bristle was not satisfied. Stay away from the human stinker, she warned her brother. Remember the danger. Pax took a step closer. My humans are not dangerous. Runt seemed alarmed by this, as if Pax had issued a challenge. He darted uphill towards his den entrance, but his sister was quicker. She blocked him, and when he tried to slink away in another direction, she restrained him with a heavy paw until he stilled in defeat. All humans are dangerous. Pax's fur ruffled in a shiver at the scene Bristle conjured up. Wind, cold and howling and heavy with threat of snow. Pax recognized that wind. The story she was about to relate would end with blood on the snow and cold steel jaws. Bristle bared her fangs at Pax and then began. And that's the end of chapter 9. That was a super short chapter. I think I'm going to move on and read chapter 10 as well. So 9 and 10 today. At the jog in the wall where he had seen the deer, Peter stopped. There was blood already. He had stumbled and ripped open the tender web of skin at the base of his thumb on a jagged splinter, and buckets of sweat. His arms trembled from the strain of lifting his weight for only these few minutes, his palms already raw on the rubber grips, and the throbbing in his right foot menaced like thunder. But none of that was what was wrong. It wasn't even the prospect of returning to his grandfather's grim house. He was going in the wrong direction. He wheeled around. He stabbed the ground and swung over it, stabbed and swung, until he planted himself in the doorway of Vola's barn again. He drew himself up tall. No. So he turned himself around and he went back to Vola's barn. Uh-oh. Vola's head snapped up, and she shot him a warning scowl, but on her face Peter read a flash of something else. Fear. I'm not going back, he said more firmly. Whether you help me or not, I'm going to get my fox. Help you? Peter moved to the bench and hoisted himself up. Teach me what you said about moving from my arms, about getting strong. You learned how to get around on one leg. Teach me. You were a medic. Set my bone. Please, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. He picked up the cider and drank it down to show his trust. And then I'll leave. But even if you won't help me, I'm going to get him. Vola put her hands on her hips, and she lowered her head to eye him. A tamed fox, set loose in the wild. You know he might be dead, don't you? I know, and it would be my fault. If he's dead, I need to bring him home and bury him. Either way, I'm going back to find my fox and bring him home. Vola studied Peter as if she were seeing him for the first time. So which is it? Going back to your home or for your pet? Well, they're the same thing, Peter said, the answer sudden and sure, although a surprise to him. And you're going to do this no matter who tries to stop you, because it's the right thing for you. At your core? Vola made a fist and thumped her chest. Your core. Is that true? Peter waited before answering, because this woman may be crazy. Maybe not. Had asked it if the fate of the world depended on it. But the answer was the same it would have been if he had just blurted it out. The answer would have been the same if he had waited a lifetime to think it over. He thumped his own chest, and he felt the muscle of his heart leap. Yes, in fact, there's nothing else I know at my core. The woman nodded. Well, you're 12. That's old enough to know your own self, I expect. I'm not about to go messing with that. So all right. You'll help me? Yeah, I'll help you. Vola extended her hand to shake, on 3 conditions. Dun, dun, dun. And that was the end of chapter 10. So there were 2 short ones today. That was a great cliffhanger. I wonder what her 3 conditions would be. Think about that. Think about what you think her conditions might be, what he has to promise her in order for her to help him. All right, and then next time will be chapter 11. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.